Today we removed the 3 eaglets from the Independence and Franklin nest. They're approximately 7 weeks of age. We were hoping we could leave them in there just a little bit longer with the parents, but one of them started to venture out on top of one of the edges of the nest, and we didn't want them to be human socialized. Keep them as wild as possible before we release them into the wild. I'll grab the wings. They may not want to do it, but he might cooperate. Okay, you want to read? You want to read, Ralph?
He's cooperating. This will work.
8:15.
8:15?
8.15? 8.15? Today we weighed them to check their weights. The weights were slightly lower than when I checked them at 5.5 weeks, but I believe that they must have had a full crop, had just eaten when I weighed them the last time. And one was 8 pounds 13, one was 6 pounds 14, and one was 8 pounds 15. So I assume that the two that were 8 pounds 15 were those 9-pounders that we weighed back when they were 5.5 weeks of age. And again, they're nearly 7 weeks right now, not quite. We also put a colored band on the right leg just to identify the 3 birds. And once we take them to the hack tower, we'll put a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band on them. And of course, a day before we release them, we'll go up there and put a transmitter on their middle tail feather and a patagial wing marker to help identify the birds in the wild once they leave the hack tower. This is one of the females. As you can see, though, the talons are still, they're pretty substantial for a bird that's 7 weeks old.
Give me the band, please. Thank you, ma'am.
And now her keel is so much different than his was.
Oh, yeah.
She's robust.
Yeah, she's almost fat.
Mm-hmm. I'll separate that for you. You want me to?
It's okay. Okay.
The 3 eaglets will be taken to the hack tower immediately over on Douglas Lake. They'll spend about 6 weeks up there, and they'll be released into the wild when they're about 13 weeks of age. While they're up there, they're going to be acclimating to the area. They're going to be looking out the front door of their release tower, and they're going to be looking at the lake and all the things that are going on out there. Hopefully they'll be kind of imprinting on that area so that when they are released, they'll remember that general area when they're old enough to find a mate, and they return to that area to hopefully build a nest and raise their own young. Sometimes when these birds will find a mate at 4 to 5 years of age, the other mate will take them to where they first learned to fly, or the general area. So all of our birds may not return to the same area on Douglas Lake, but hopefully some will, and that's going to continue to help Tennessee recover their bald eagle population, and we'll be able to restore eagles to the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains.
I'm Bob Hatcher. I'm retired as a non-game and endangered wildlife coordinator with the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Since I retired from there in 2001, I've been a consultant with the American Eagle Foundation and have had the privilege of working with Al Cicely and others in the restoration of bald eagles. Since we started hacking and releasing bald eagles to restore natural nesting in Tennessee, previous to 2012, 337 bald eagles have been released. After this year, after 7 more are released on Douglas Lake by the American Eagle Foundation, we can add 7 to the 337, and we should be getting about 344 that have been released altogether. Of those 344, there'll be a total of 119 that will have been released at Douglas Lake since 1992. 1992 was the first year the American Eagle Foundation began hacking bald eagles here. The site on Douglas Lake that the American Eagle Foundation has for hacking eagles is maybe the last one in the country for that. It's been very successful in helping bringing back bald eagles to natural nesting throughout the entire country. Due to the fact we had DDT in this country, and it had an effect on bald eagles and their nesting success, there were only 417 mated pairs in the lower 48 states in 1963. But in the year 2012, there are approximately 13,000 mated pairs in the lower 48 states. So that's real progress, but still much needs to be done to maintain that protection that they still need.